Ben hung up. I placed my phone on my bedside table, and I immediately went back to sleep, forgetting about the short, tiring conversation I just had with the closest resemblance I had to a friend in this shitty town. The next day, I found myself yet again sitting in Ben's submersible, heading to the colossal squid's carcass. Or at least we were trying to. Turns out the ocean is much, much bigger than you'd see on Google Maps, or whatever your teachers led you to believe. As we headed further out to sea and descended deeper, light gradually started to disappear, until there was no trace of it at all.
It'll take an hour to find the carcass,
Ben said.
Plenty of air, plenty of time. Wait, never mind. There it is.
The submersible stopped at the edge of the deep trench, and there lay the enormous carcass of a freshly killed colossal squid. Wow, I breathed. That is big as hell. The carcass was huge, even bigger than the submersible. But since something had taken a huge bite out of it, it was hard to tell its true size due to the mutilation. And as for how I was feeling, I wasn't fazed by the enormous squid carcass. In fact, after seeing the Leviathan's decapitated body, I was certain that nothing could faze me anymore. I was extremely naive and wrong about that.
Yep,
Ben said.
And what a coincidence that squid's carcass is right on the edge of the trench. One that possibly no one has explored yet?
So what are you trying to say?
Wait, just a second. I'm tired of calling the thing that killed the Leviathan the creature.
What about the deep one? Ben showed teeth. I don't think it was a smile.
Yeah, that's great and catchy. Despite the obvious Lovecraftian creature that has also had the same name.
Ignoring that. So, I asked, do you want to go into the trench? Ben started laughing his dumb ass off.
Are you a gosh dang dumbass? If there's a giant sea monster down there, which has to be at least over a mile or two in size, running around eating giant mosasaurs and squids, would you want to go?
No.
Yep. We don't want to die. Now that I think about it, I don't think the deep one would ever notice us. So, what are we going to do now?
Take a couple of skin samples from the squid because they're very rare, and look for anything interesting, I replied. Nothing was interesting. An hour later, back on the surface, I found myself at the local convenience store, which I may or may not have mentioned earlier. It's been there for a couple of decades, and the building itself was held together by some duct tape, prayers, cult rituals, and nothing else. The guy who owned it was this nice old man everyone called Earl. Like nearly everyone in this town, he was a Liam Neeson-esque looking tough guy in his 60s, an ex-military, probably nom with graying hair and rough-looking skin. And he was a bloody redneck and had a shitload of guns. "Hey, Earl," I said, walking into the store. I reached over the counter and grabbed a bag of chips and 5 bowls of extremely unhealthy Thailand rip-off instant ramen.
"Will that be all?"
Earl asked. Yeah. I pulled out a $20 bill, and that's when I realized I didn't have enough to pay for all of the food. "Hey, Earl?"
"Yeah?"
"I don't have enough money."
"It's alright. It's on the house tonight."
My eyes lit up. "Really? All of it?"
"Yeah. Also because the ramen expired 2 years ago, and you'd get food poisoning from eating it."
"Well, I have to eat something," I laughed, walking out of the store.